have still to become a missionary. That was being mentioned by our instructors. We have to have our goal. We have to help other people save.
Yeah. Can you be specific on
Yeah.
what learning opportunity or activities that the university is actually giving you to actually bring that out in you? Like, can you give us like a concrete activity that the university like did and you transformed to such?
Yeah.
That we have to create our own business, our own products. That we don't have to copy from others, and from that business we have to help other people from the profits that we are earning.
But do you feel or you experience something support or the school provide something to help the entrepreneur students to do something? For example, I have some ideas I want to put it in action. So yes, something school provides something to help the students. Do you have some experience or school have this value or important so the school will support?
May I just put in context of the student right now?
Yeah.
Can you give the activities of the BSM or the Young Entrepreneur Society that you developed without the initial intervention of the government? What were the activities that you have conducted?
One of the full open house in which all of us are given the chance to develop pasables. For example, last year we had water pong, which is basically beer pong, a popular party game, but it's with water. And those are one of the activities where you get a chance to explore other chances in which you can make money in a sense. Another was also the business truck. Every December, we operate in the main campus where we sell. It's a combination of small enterprises, and we have 2 or 3 stalls in which the whole class is unified, where we have to plan for mass production, who gets this, who gets that. We get a sense of teamwork as a whole instead of just. It's more practical because it's happening. It's not for show. It's an actual thing where we might do in the future. As for example, if you're employed, there are chances that it might happen for you guys or your company employee.
Another activity is we have business seminars. For example, we call on business owners or individuals with business experience come to school and give a talk on based on their experiences on how to start a business or how to control money financially, and awareness on the business itself, and other activities such as the Antioch Fever. Is that for 1 week we have the Antioch Fever where we encourage students enrolled in Antioch 1 to create a product. Like, for example, we give them a category on technology based on recycled items. So then we make them compete with one another. And once that, during that week, we evaluate who has the best product, and then into that, we will
You were actually able to get the owner of McDonald's, because for McDonald's, Baguio City and Benguet, there's only one owner. So Michael Del Rosario was invited here. We didn't give him any honorariums that time. Actually, the business seminars we have, we don't have money actually to pay honorarium for them. We're able to get owners of Shell hotels in Baguio City, also exporters of agricultural products, so they get to have a glimpse of different businesses, different operations. And we're opening to different students so they can come in and then attend the seminar also.
And regarding those seminars, are the students involved in actually like contacting these people?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Personally, this team also.
Mhm.
By next week, we'll be having one again by next week.
On the administrative point of view, another trait I think of an entrepreneurial university is its ability to provide a conducive learning environment. Not only being able to provide the facilities, learning facilities, but being able to provide an environment that is suitable really for learning.
Yes.
And I think we're very blessed with this campus, Mary High's campus. Relatively speaking, among all the campuses in St. Louis University, we are proud to say that we win in eco-friendly competitions. We are one among them, and there were 2 years straight already that we were given that as a manifest of our being able to give to the students and to the faculty personnel an environment which is a learning environment that is good for everyone. And I think that is one of the traits of an entrepreneurial university as well. It's not always academic.
Yeah. Definitely.
I have a question. Aside from teaching your students about entrepreneurship, do you also allow your teachers to work as well with selling businesses of their own?
Non-personal.
Okay.
I'm a practitioner.
So that the students can have their own practical learnings from their teachers.
So, in fact, I was invited by the batch to talk in one of their functions this coming December 11th, I think December 7th. So, being a practitioner, what makes it more appropriate is that you don't teach them by the book. So, you give them the practicality, you give them reality. Because again, what you do read and what you do somehow inject inside the class, it's coming from the book. These are coming from the experiences, mostly of foreign countries. And the environment that we have here, specifically in Baguio, you have to be community related. If you would really want to succeed in the kind of environment we have, what we need to do is to be a socialist, but not the term of the philosophical term of socialist. What we mean is that we need to be able to involve yourself. Because what you need to create is not the change that would be good for you, but it has to be the change for the community. And we keep on emphasizing to them, it's not about earning. It's about creating something that will sustain a better livelihood, not just for yourself, but in the community that we're in.
And actually, sir, supporting also not only our professors, but also our students. Most of them are really, they're the next in-line generation to handle the family business. Like for Baguio City, one of the big businesses here, the owner of one of the sons of the McDonald's is in my third year class. Also, the one with Dave's Bake Shop, they have construction supplies, they have rice mills also. So, as Moises, your family business is with cookwares. Alwin's business, family business.
We provide, in the province, we provide meat, pork, especially pork, to the market. So sometimes the market, we have a share on the market on the province, which is a small part of the province, but it gives the
Livelihood.
Amen.
It's a pleasure to it gives us not only profits but also a share in the market itself in that particular province.
Mr. Lacambra is with construction. With construction.
And aggregates, we buy and sell sand, gravel.
So they're here the next.
This is a question related to the program. If you look at the graduates, how long has the program been going? 4 years.
How long is the program, sir?
So, Sir's the pioneer.
Started in 1980.
So if you look at the graduates of the program, what is the majority, what is the ratio of those who look for full-time employment, and what is the rate, and what is the percentage of that who become entrepreneurs? Because a lot of the studies we found in the PhD articles, it turns out a lot of the graduates of entrepreneurial programs in the world actually look for jobs
Instead of making.
Instead of creating their own
Actually, it's just
business.
with one of our case, but not with the enter program, marketing program, one of the sons of the big businesses here, good based. And then here comes the son suggesting ideas for the business. The dad doesn't like to accept the business. Ending up, he did not push through with the business and worked in a call center. So there's that dilemma with the graduating students because as long as the founder is there, the dad, the lolo, they still have the hand. So if you're the son, like one of my third years, they own Soul Cafe in the Ordoneta area, in the La Union area. He's already giving ideas for the business, but it's like he just gives ideas. So there's an influence of the one handling still the business on what role can they play. So there's still that where am I in the business?
Do you think schools and especially in the family in the community are ready for entrepreneurial nature or
Coming from
do you think the world is ready for you? Entrepreneur.
Yes, Ezra.
For me, I'm ready, but but my brother still handles the business. But I want to pursue or handle the business, and she's still there, and I cannot.
She's still there.
Pero I can give ideas like that.
So the problem, so these are some of the issues here. How about you? What do you think are the problems that we have? Especially that you're almost graduating, right? So when you go out, what do you think, if you project, what are the issues you think will we face when you go out there and build your own empire?
Sometimes I think it's between the crisis of when you know how to do well or what you want. Because sometimes, for example, if in my case, I would go to if I wanted to be stable, I would stick towards sand and gravel. That's what I know how to do. But what if I wanted to do something different? So I think it's sometimes an internal crisis or
Dilemma.
And it's also with the upbringing of the family because one of the fourth year batch, Nicole, who owns Matutina restaurant in the Dagupan areas, the family trained him to really love the business. So after graduation, I really asked him, would you like to continue? And he said yes. So it's like the batch is divided, like half of them, they'd be putting up their own business or be employed for a while, earn some money, and then put up their business. And then the others, if the family is really a strong foundation, they can continue with the business. So still depends on the family. That's why we'd like to incorporate family business management in the curriculum so that they can also learn on what could be the next steps that they can do.
Yes, Miss, you want to share something?
For me, one crisis that I'll face when I graduate is the resources. As you all know, we're just gonna graduate, and then we have, like for example, the financial, especially the financial. We have to be employed first so that we can earn enough money. For me, we have a family business, but I'm still thinking on whether I will continue it or not. And if I don't want to continue it, I have to have a financial standing. So this hinders me from putting up a business immediately.
I want to pick that up. You said that after graduating, of course, you need to be self-employed, right? Does it mean that you'll not be applying the things that you've learned in entrepreneurship and just stop there?
No, I'm not just gonna stop there.
Mm-hmm.
I applied, I enrolled in this course for a reason. So I'm going to push through with it and build my own business.
about is the time, like, I'm not gonna be able to do it immediately, but I can do it with time and through my efforts.
Yeah. I do appreciate that. But for example, you will be self-employed. Because when you say entrepreneurial, it's not just making business. It's the attitude. It's how you act on where you'll be. Now the question is, what are the attitudes and behaviors that you want to carry even though you don't have your business? Even though you're self-employed? I'm curious about that. Yeah.
For example, being a risk taker.
Yeah.
Kasi sir,
Yeah. That's a very good answer. Yeah.
Sa business ko kasi na-try ko namin mag-ibig. And then, parang, for example, continuing the business of my grandmother, sa plants, and for me, yung gusto ko talaga kasi mag-landscaping. Ayun po. And, so yun, parang nakikita ko na nalugi siya. Then, so ano yung pwede kong gawin para umakit? Parang being competitive po.
Yeah, and I wanna go in there. What are the things that you're learning now in SLU to be able to become innovative in a sense, so that you can at least help your I think that's the point of entrepreneurial education. I'm seeing it now better in your school because the attitudes that you have, it's not just making business. It's the attitude after graduating. Not just, business-minded people, but the attitude of becoming risk takers, to taking all the opportunities. That's good. But what are some of, principles of innovation that SLU is teaching you right now? Or if you cannot think of principles, what are they basically doing to help you to become an innovative individual or creative individual? Yes. Yes. Yeah.
What were the values that you got from the different courses that you might use after graduation to be able to be more successful, not only in business but in other fields?
Yes.
Sir, for
Thank you, Sir Bob.
Yung sa kung pwede rin value for yung patience. Kasi sir, parang kahit parang wala ka pang parang
Yeah.
Kanyari sir, yung patience kasi sir, parang kanyari somehow hindi mo matuloy yung business, parang may patience ka na maghanap muna ng other opportunities sir, para makontinue yun. Then wait for your turn.
I'll play devil's advocate. How do they teach patience here in SLU? Yeah. How?
Sir, sa business na ngayon, kasi sir, minsan, iba sa akin na walang patience, parang sir, kasi minsan, wala ako kaming customers ganun. So, walang patience na magstay doon, ganun. And yun, as always, Ma'am G says to us na gumawa ng other things, tas mag-isip, and yung assignments, ganun pa, gawin.
When waiting for the customer.
Yes.
It's part of being patient.
Yeah. Yes.
Making yourself busy.
Something that can help me that is instilled by SLU is are the core values. Being competent, creative, socially involved, and having Christian spirit. Especially the last one.
That's great. Yes.
What they provided me is passion. It's great because I have passion for cooking. What if after I graduate I don't have enough funds to have my own restaurant? Because my family wants to have their own business, that's why I chose this course to have a business. But what if, like I said, I don't have enough funds to build my own restaurant? But what I thought is get into be employed in a restaurant, dealing with cooking, because that's my passion. Because whatever I see, for example, on the TV about cooking, that immediately excuse me, that immediately registers in my mind because I really like it because that's what passion is all about. If you're passionate about something, it's just plain and simple for you because it's hands-on when it comes to passion. And another, not only for cooking, is not only if I want to have a restaurant after graduating, is have a gym because I like to work out and become a habit in my life. And another is sometimes I just want to be like an entrepreneur or a philanthropist, help people out for those who are in need. So it's all about passion.
Yeah. So again, same question. How does SLU ignite your passion in a concrete way?
Well, based on the subject, entrepreneurship, there was a lesson about passion. It made us reflect what passion do you have. So that made me think thoroughly what is my true passion. And to that point, I realized that cooking and athletic is my true passion because before I really had so much things going on. And what the school did help me is be decisive on what things that you're passionate about. So in the near future, you can decide if this is what I want.
Thank you. That's nice. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
I'd just like to add to what they actually maybe this is a bit going out of bounds, but because since your topic was being about an entrepreneurial university as a whole, passion was not only limited to the entrepreneurship course. Because I actually have a friend, his name is Benjo Estacio, and after he graduates, he doesn't want to be employed in Deloitte or the top accounting firms. He actually wants to put up his own accounting firm.
Yeah.
And I've actually heard that from many of my friends. And that's one of the things that the university has taught us to have our own practice. And they did that personally from my experience. The professors will teach me all the tools I need in the room. But aside from that, in a way, when Cosilla, they give us stories, they give us activities that is somewhat relatable to the actual real world, which makes learning a lot better for us. And that's something I enjoy in SMU. My teacher will tell you, you can have all the high grades you want in the world, but it doesn't matter if you're not the best of who you actually are. And I got it from one of my accounting professors.
Beautiful answers. Nice.
So your professors are instrumental to igniting that entrepreneurial university by their stories and by the subjects, incidental learnings. Like what Miss said, like you're promoting this to your students. I'm just interested, since you are the one answering now, like being the governor of the student body, how do you promote that mindset of entrepreneurial to the students, being a student leader yourself? Because you're the governor. Because we've heard the professors talking about like they're giving activities and all.
They have classes.
Yeah, it's okay, sir.
Okay then.
It's okay, po. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How about you? Like being the governor, how do you make sure that the students of SLU under your governance be creative and innovative?
I don't actually handle all of the students because there's too many of them. I don't actually handle them, but I do at least have a handle over their president in DS. Is Nicole. We have our own activities in our school that promote entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial university, finding a solution to things your own way that is not always conforming. Under the guidance of the administration, they give us their instructions. But I don't know if they know this or not, but they give us their instructions, and then there's always the usual way to find a solution. But for us, there's always a way to find a solution. Recently, we're going to be conducting our bazaar, our Christmas bazaar in SLU. And of course, there's a usual solution to that. We just talk it over and all of those stuff. But in the different organizations, they have their own ways of finding a solution to their problems within the bazaar. If their problem is what are they going to sell, who are the target customers, who do they need for help, there's always the regular solution.
but for the different organizations, they have their own way of solving those solutions. I don't know how they handle it for their organizations, but for me under Kasama SSC, there's always the rule book that you're following, but sometimes you have to follow the spirit of what's written in the text, not always what's unwritten.
Supporting also the answer of Carlos, like we have Light, the one with the hospitality and tourism management. So whenever they, for example, we have school activities and then they put up a tent or a bazaar or a food stall, it's related to the skills they learned in the classes. So like their wine,
application.
mocktail mixing sila, they have like that. The breads, the food they prepare from the Asian cuisine, and then medyo mas murang version to cater to the students. So
That's
with
very
HTM,
entrepreneurial.
we also get to benefit from the HTM also.
That's a very concrete way of being entrepreneurial. Thank you, Paul.
It seems there's a lot of, and this is back to the question of handling patents. A lot of your students have patentable ideas. So the question I asked earlier this morning was, who owns the rights to businesses that were created under the program? Not just entrepreneurship, but under the university.
As of now, we're still not into patents. We're still not that mature. So we're going there. We are learning the trade, and we would like to be there also. As the School of Natural Sciences, it took them years in order to earn the patent. And it was not only that school; they have to partner with our ISF in order to do that. So
they were the first one, natural science.
Natural science.
Natural
With
sciences,
Miss
yes.
Evelyn.
But we're going there.
And number two, do you have an incubator facility?
We are working on it also, and because it's part of the requirement of being a center of development and being a PAS School Level 3 accredited also. They're looking for it. We're in the process of improving it in the spirit of continuous improvement. We have a facility. We partner with our ISF as the incubator of our students. But we are working on our own incubator within the campus. We already have reserved a space for that, and we're in the process of developing the place.
With regards to the other colleges, obviously under business and entrepreneurship, you have innovations
a lot of
businesses.
innovations.
Do the other colleges interact or cooperate with you to develop their own, for example, natural resources or teacher education?
Are there collaborations across departments?
Particularly for community extension, like they could be the ones making, for example, the creed will be the ones to make the package, and then another one will be the one to sell. So they do hand in hand with the university. Even with engineering, they do have that.
That's right. Because the technical part we cannot do, but the business part we can.
So that's what I want to ask the students. Do you have a product in mind that needs a scientific testing or trial or an engineering testing or application that you can work with? Because
Other
that's,
departments
with
or other
departments.
schools.
So
Maybe you can just ask.
yeah, if you have, for example, you said landscaping. Landscaping is an engineering course.
Yes, yes.
Actually,
Architecture.
landscape engineering or landscape architecture. So if you're going to do landscaping business, you would have to have the technical side and work with
Experts.
You have landscape architect.
On the level of the students, very limited. But on the level of the faculty, in terms of collaborative work, we do have. In terms of extension activities. And then we do not only work within the university. We partner. There were so many times that we partnered also with other institutions. Like during several years ago, we had this funding coming from Europe. We partnered with Benguet State University. We came up with, they had a product, it is an agricultural university. Everything is organic, but they had problems with how to put that in the market, yung mga packaging problems. So we did collaborative work in the form of a research, and it's part of a big project.
Because this is what I was asking. Is there an administrative guidance from the faculty on which products or which sectors to address. For example, earlier we talked about CSR.